So today's Cardinal Lesson, we're talking about the recent Social Security statement. I mean, when I say recent, this thing's up there in your MySocialSecurity account all the time. It gets updated potentially twice in January. Once with your last year's earnings record, where, at least mine did 2022, the money I made in 2022 that I paid Social Security taxes on is entered into this formula. And then secondly, the interest rate, the inflation rate um, that for the 2022 check or the 2023 check got started in January. So this is a case study that we're using that we pulled down. It's 6 pages long, and this is the copy, the first time I've really looked over thoroughly the new statement, the new and improved statement. So I realize that a lot of you viewers might be thinking, boy, that's really interesting reading material for me to sit down and read my Social Security statement. But it's my experience that people coming into us for financial planning, that they have really only looked at the numbers on here quickly and may jump to some quick conclusions about when they're going to start their Social Security. So at the very least, if you come into us for financial planning or you call us for help with something, and we're going to do a financial plan that includes all 7 of these topics: Social Security, Medicare, long-term care, IRA, uh, the 401k, the income, the estate planning, and taxes. When we do a financial plan, we cover all 7 of those subjects. And this is the first subject. We're going to need this. So I would suggest that you go after you watch this video. And if you haven't opened one already, open up a MySocialSecurity account at SSA.gov, and then you bring down the statement as a PDF. And then if you want it, when you're going to get into the show notes, it's actually going to have a copy of this case study. And so if you do it yourself, you'll have your own copy to compare it to. So, okay, so the first point that we're going to make today is you can pull right off of this sheet. And I want to go to Tom to talk about it. In this case study, is this gentleman is going to have his Social Security at 66 and 8 months, which is about a year and a half for him. It's going to be $3,657 a month. So I'd like to bring Tom on, and I'd like Tom to go through the show notes and go over this first section.
Yeah, and so we have these show notes and a link below of the video on the YouTube channel. You're also on our website if you want to get them there. But they go through some more details, some specifics. And so what we'll get into is really start studying a little bit, not going too much in depth, but really what this Social Security, what's on the statement, some of the important things to know here. And so this is a case study of a Social Security statement. The one thing that you want to look at is over on the right side here, you have the chart that shows the amounts at the different ages. One of the things that I want to point out that is often I hear all the time is, do I have to wait to these certain ages to take it? The answer is no. Is you can take it any month between 62 and 70. And every month you wait, it increases by a little bit. So even though they don't list every month on this chart, they just sort of do it at those key points. But every month you wait, it's going up by a little bit. So just know that. The other thing to know too is the full retirement age, which is sort of right here in the middle of the page here. That is dependent upon your birthday. And so it's being phased into anyone born after 1960, it's 67. We're not there yet, so it's being phased in. So in this case study, it's 66 and 8 months. But you can just start seeing the different amounts at these different ages. And so, you look at the full retirement age of 36, 57, you wait all the way till 70, it increases by, they're called delayed retirement credits. So you get a higher check. It's 4,696. In reality, that number is probably going to be a little bit higher by the time this person gets to 70 because of the cost of living adjustments that will happen due to the inflation over time. But yeah, it's a great way to know kind of what benefits you're eligible for. This serves as the base starting point for almost all financial plans we do, because this is income that we can just count on to help build you an income plan. We have other videos that go into more specifics on filing strategies and how to do this with couples and divorces and widows. And so we're not going to get into any of that in this video. We have other videos for that. But if you're interested, go back and watch some of those other videos.
Yeah. So for this dude on this statement, there's really two numbers that are significant for him. Number one is 66 and 8 months, is he's still working, so he's not going to take his Social Security before full retirement age, and that would be about a year and a half from now. So that would be one option, because you can collect your Social Security at full retirement age and still make all the money you want from work. He's probably not going to do that. Then the number up here, 4696, 4,696 a month, is what he's going to wait for till 70, providing he's going to be able to work till 70. Okay. And if he's able to work till 70 and continues to work till 70, he's going to have income coming in from work, and then he'd have to pay a lot of taxes on this. So he's probably going to wait till age 70. And that gets him the benefit of a bigger check for life. And then even if he doesn't live long enough to have waited this long, he could, his wife, if she's still alive and is the surviving spouse, after he dies, she's going to get that higher amount for the rest of her life. So it's pretty good idea for a retiring or a postponing of retirement executive that has a large check to begin with, to consider waiting until 70 if they're married and they're in reasonably good health and their spouse is in reasonably good health. One of them is probably going to live long enough to have made this a good decision. Okay? So, next point we really want to make is that Social Security was never intended to be all of your retirement. Now, unfortunately, it is for a lot of people in this country that they just haven't saved. Circumstances have come up. They've spent their money. Maybe they got laid off in their 50s and had to take a lesser job, or they couldn't work, or they got disabled, or just all kinds of things happen to people, and life happens. And then there are people that all they've got is their Social Security check and maybe a little bit of savings or a little bit of a part-time job or something carrying them through. Well, for those people, it is all of their money. And we're going to talk about taxes in a second. I think it's a really good thing that we have this in the US and that we've done this, because those people who didn't save any money, whether it was their circumstances or not, I mean, at least they got this and they can count on it. It's going to get inflated and it's going to continue for as long as they live. And that doesn't matter who's on Social Security. We as financial planners, when we're writing a financial plan and we're projecting income and we're projecting taxes and we're preparing an estate and we're distributing an IRA, 401k over a lifetime, and we're really planning out the next 30 years, the thing we like about the Social Security is it's known. It's a known amount. It's adjusted by inflation, but it's also known that you're going to be getting checks in your 80s and 90s. And that's a known fact. You can't outlive your money when it comes to Social Security. Very important point. Social Security benefits are subject to federal income tax. And we have other videos on the Cardinal Advisors channel, on the YouTube channel, that go over this in length, how the taxes work, how much they are, what you can do to kind of prepare for them or to minimize them. But we just want to make it known that your Social Security benefits are subject to federal income tax, unless you're one of these people that it's pretty much all you got. If you just have your Social Security check and nothing or a little bit in your Social Security check, you're not going to pay much federal tax or state tax at all. Now, there are 11 states that tax Social Security along with the feds. So I'm not going to read them all, but they're listed right there on the board. And if you live in one of those 11 states, they all tax it differently. So you can call us up and we'll go over that for you. But if you live in one of those 11 states, and you have a reasonable amount of other income or a significant amount of other income besides Social Security, you're probably going to pay taxes on your Social Security, both at the federal level and the state level. Now, I want to talk a little bit about early retirement, because a lot of people are looking at that age 62, and maybe they retired even earlier than that, or they're retired now and they're just saying, I can get my Social Security benefit. And yes, you can. And you're going to take a hit. So, like if this dude would have taken his Social Security at 62, it would have been about 2,000 a month, 2,200 a month, something like that, and it would have gotten a little inflation adjustment. But what I really want to talk about is you first of all, you might not want to do that if you got other sources of income. You might want to delay it, even if you are early retired. But if you need the money and you don't have the other sources of income, then you're probably going to take it. But just know, if you go get a job, if you go back to work, or, I had a school teacher that retired at like 63, started her Social Security, she got her school teacher's pension, and it wasn't a lot, but she was set up well enough that she could continue going. And after about 6 months or a year, the school called her back. And I think they do that to a lot of teachers, that they'll call them like a year later and say, we'd like to have you back. And so she comes back. And now, if she makes more than $21,000 a year, because she started her Social Security before full retirement age, she's got to give some of it back. So I just want you to pay attention to that. If you take it early, you can only make 21,000 of income from a job separately, or you're going to be giving some of your Social Security back. So, I mean, it's just, and once you get to full retirement age, so like this dude that we're using in the example, if he's still working, he would have the option of taking that full retirement age benefit, 66 and 8 months to 36.57, and making money from a job. Because he's past full retirement age, he could do that. But generally, people don't do that because it's a benefit to wait. And then there's also tax at a pretty high rate when you have other income. So what I want to do is go over the 7 worries that are up here and talk about. So we talked today about Social Security. On the Social Security statement is some good training about Medicare. So I'm going to want you to pay attention to that. We really didn't go over long-term care. We didn't talk about IRAs and 401ks. We did go over income, because Social Security is the base retirement income. We didn't talk about estate planning, other than the fact that the surviving spouse lives on that larger Social Security check. So we talked about it a little bit. And then taxes, that's this whole section. We covered that. So with that being said, I'm Hans Scheil.
And I'm Tom Griffith.
And we thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.